Ladies and gentlemen, it's your favorite night of the week. It's Monday night, and how could any of us be not excited about what's going to go down right now? This, in case you haven't participated in the past, is Topic of Conversation. I am your host, David Cobb, and tonight's a very special topic, one that's near and dear to my heart. And by that, I mean not one that I ever thought I'd have myself having a conversation with anybody in most public spaces about. But here we are. We have a lovely topic that was, thank you, Cobra, glad you're here, that was selected by one of our dear viewers. And if he wants, I can give him a shout out. If not, no big deal. There was nobody to pick my background last week. Unfortunately, we just didn't hit all of the right numbers, so I went ahead and picked my own background, and I think it's pretty sweet. This is an AI representation of fine art based on this guy right here, my little astronaut me. So you're welcome for the fine viewing experience. As per usual, I have to start out with a disclaimer, and I'm going to use the words of a very special person, somebody who's been close to me for a long time, the band The Offspring, and so I'm going to just read the lyrics to one of their songs for part of my disclaimer here, and I'm going to manipulate it a little bit to, excuse me, to match what we're doing here tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the disclaimer. That's right, the disclaimer. This American apple pie institution known as parental discretion will cleanse any sense of innuendo or sarcasm from the podcast, which might actually make you think, and will also insult your intelligence at the same time. So, protect your family. This podcast contains explicit depictions of things which are real. These real things are commonly known as life. So, if it sounds sarcastic, don't take it seriously. If it sounds dangerous, do not try this at home or at all. And if it offends you, just don't listen to it. That said, offensive things might be said tonight. If you're soft, if you're weak, if you can't handle it, if you're easily getting your feelings hurt, just dig out now, because this probably isn't the place for you. There possibly will be some grown-up language, and by that I mean, F-bombs and whatnot. From time to time, I don't know, our co-host today is a little more mild in that, which we'll get to introducing him here in just a minute. And in the meantime, I would also like to draw your attention to our humble opinions, which, where are they? I don't have the right screen on. Twitch doesn't look right on my tablet here. So down below, you're going to see the leaderboard for our humble opinions. Now, the person with the most humble opinions at the end of the stream does get to pick our topic for next week. The person with the second most humble opinions at the end of the stream gets to pick the background for next week's stream. So do your darndest to get those humble opinions. You can bet humble opinions, I believe. I set up the slot machine, so that should also be available in the chat now. We also have a couple of other additions to the chat if you want to just type in, exclamation point commands, something like that. I'll get Cobra, if you don't mind, maybe just throw up whatever the commands are in the chat there. I'd appreciate that. Also, Hawaiian Cobra's here tonight as our moderator, so don't piss him off because he will kick your ass out. Where was I? Oh yeah, other new things. Well, this isn't new, but if you look down below me, not below me. Okay, we're getting started already then. If you look down below the screen here, you're gonna see our rules. You're gonna see what you need to do in order to get humble opinions. So you can get 100 humble opinions for every 10 minutes that you're watching. So congratulations just for being here. You can, thank you Cobra for doing that, can just be here. You get things and whatnots. Subscribers get 300 points because you're special and you pay me. So Speaking of that, I should say right now, you absolutely don't have to subscribe. You don't have to drop bits. You don't have to spend any money here whatsoever. Even the sound alerts are all free, so make as much commotion and ruckus as you'd like to. In fact, participation is mandatory. Channel points, so I call them cancel points because I am seeing how quickly I can get myself canceled here. Not intentionally, maybe partly intentionally. But for every cancel point you spend, you're going to get that same number of humble opinions. So, you know, interact, do things like that. Also, there's cheering, subscribing, following, tipping, and hosting will also all get you humble opinions, which you can check out that list below me. I'm going to go ahead and just drop this one for Mr. Hawaiian Cobra there. Wanted to drop that for him. That is his special sound that I've decided to include in our doodad here. I'm going to turn those alerts up a little bit so that they can be heard. All right, where was I? Yeah, there's the so that's it. That's the humble opinions and cancel points. Rack them up, and you get to pick our topic. Now, regarding the topics, nothing's off limits. Okay. Obviously, if it's something that's going to get me literally kicked off of Twitch, I'm not going to fly with that. We can find something else out. But you'll have 10 minutes at the end to decide what that topic is going to be. No, I'm not going to give you all week to figure it out. Speaking of all week, we are going to go ahead and post the audio only on Spotify. So I had issues with Spotify with our episode 2, unfortunately. We did finally get it worked out, so it's on audio only right now. So as of this afternoon, you can catch episode 2 on Spotify. Link is downstairs, also below me. If you want to catch the full episode with video, that's also going to be posted on YouTube. Once again, look below me. Everything is below me. I'm on top of the world, I guess. Are there more things to say? I feel like there was something else I was going to say, but I didn't write it down because I'm terrible at writing things down. So I'm going to go ahead and quit flapping my gums and introduce our co-host for tonight. He is the realest of the real, my real life actual brother. And just wait till you see him because nothing gets realer than this guy. Mr. Aeolus120, welcome to Topic of Conversation. How are you doing tonight, dear brother?
Hello. I am incredibly real. I am a real person. I'm your real life actual brother. That's for darn sure.
Gotta keep people guessing. Maybe that's not true. What if it is? What if it isn't?
Hi, I'm Aeolus120. I'm a real life VTuber, and if you argue with me, you're talking to a cartoon.
You're probably a cartoon. Is that what you said?
No, you're talking to a cartoon, man. You're not gonna argue with Bugs Bunny.
Right. Who argues with cartoons? That's just crazy talk.
Who do you think you are, Elmer Fudd?
Elmer Fudd, yes. That wascally wabbit.
Oh.
Well, welcome to Topic of Conversation. What is our topic tonight?
Good to be here. Oh, well, never discussing the
Is it just me, or is that music really loud? Or are you just really quiet? What did I do? I'm breaking everything! Really I don't have any.
Am I louder now?
There you are. Yeah, I think it was just you were really quiet.
Wow, I was just eating my microphone. That's cool.
Everything right when we're testing audio and we get on the show and you're like, you know what?
Maybe you're the problem. Have you thought about that?
I am.
Have you considered that maybe you're the problem?
Stop touching things. No. You stop touching things. I've considered that I'm the problem. It's likely that I am the problem in most situations.
Oh,
irrelevant.
Come on.
Irrelevant.
You need to be kinder to yourself.
Our topic tonight.
You're only the problem in many situations.
Ladies and gentlemen, my real life actual brother. Tonight, Yuri, We have very special topic tonight, yes?
Yes, boys. It's very close to heart.
It's about fatherland, yes?
Da. Motherland, really.
Fatherland, motherland. Look, it takes mother and father to make babyland.
Two halves make whole, yeah? Similar to a split in two, if you will.
Split in several, more than two perhaps.
Yes.
Audio's getting wonky. I don't know why. Tonight's topic, ladies and gentlemen, was handpicked by our dear friend Adrian Tempish, who has decided to force us to talk tonight about something called the Russian Civil War. And I'm putting that in quotes because technically there is no civil war. And that's not just Russian propaganda.
There is no war in Bosnia.
Hey, there he is, Adrian Tempish. There he is.
Adrian!
All right, so our purpose tonight is to educate and to entertain. So, Adrian,
Mostly the latter.
I mean, are you sure? Hey, man, it's been a whole week. I've had a lot of time to think about this. Hi, guys.
Listen,
All right, listen.
know I have become highly educated on this topic.
He has, actually. He barely got out of the house. I mean, out of the bluish background
Out of
with
what?
boxes.
Red pandas. Do you know anything about me?
Pandas. That's right. Red pandas. Got it. You can't teach the stupid, and I'm really stupid, says Hawaiian Cobra. Well, you know what? We're going to try our darndest. Sorry for your condition.
I am get educate.
Get educated. I didn't see that. All right, Adrian, we're here to educate you. Look, if you want to talk about a Russian civil war, then we need to go back
Boris,
to...
I am get educate.
Then we are having to go back to Bolshevik Revolution. Yes.
Bolshevik Revolution.
Tell me, what do you know? Yuri, remind me what you know about the Bolshevik Revolution. About
the Bolshevik
the
Revolution,
father of our dear nation, Vladimir Lenin.
1912. Yes, the Bolshevik Revolution.
I was very close with Vladimir.
1912.
I call him Vlad.
Vladimir. Vlad. Like
Vlad.
until the Impaler, yeah.
The Impaler.
Impaler.
Look, my Russian is not perfect, but it's almost perfect, so you're welcome in advance.
By the Bolshevik Revolution, are you talking about the October Revolution led by the Bolshevik faction?
Yeah, you must be typing quick, man. He's all on Wikipedia. He's like, what's the Bolshevik Revolution? And yes, yeah, that is correct. So, you're right. The Bolshevik Revolution started with the October Revolution. There was also a February Revolution, though.
There was. That's true.
There was. There were several revolutions that resulted in the creation of the Soviet Union in 1921.
Yep.
21, 22.
You know, a lot of people get the wrong idea that they were going up against the imperial family, but the imperial family had already kind of been offed at that point.
Yeah. They actually, a lot of people think also that it was the communists that were, instigating all this. In reality, it was the aliens.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
true.
The
they
aliens
came down
actually
with
created
their
communism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually true. And you can take my word for it because I was there and I'm a time traveler.
Now, it's important to keep in mind that when the aliens created communism, what they did form it in Russia, but the goal was China. The goal was always China. That's why they built the Great Wall.
That is
the aliens.
Yeah. Right, in China. It was for communism.
Right. To facilitate communism.
Right.
Which,
Obviously.
of course, everybody knows gray aliens' main purpose in existence is spreading communism.
Right. And babies. They also want to spread babies. They make little alien babies. Spores.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
That's true. That's why there's overpopulation in China.
That's why the Chinese people, they're all... We're getting started
anyway.
Too early on this. How did we get into China? We're talking about Russia.
Communism.
and their several civil wars.
Yep.
Adrian's like,
which all happened within like a year of each other.
That's true.
It was like what? It was what, 8 or 9 civil wars?
Yeah, and it was like last year.
Yeah, that was the big one. Yeah, that really
was
led
the
to
biggest one.
Spread of communism.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're really excited
so far
to talk about this topic.
In my studies of the Russian Civil War so far, my favorite part is it looks like there were basically 9 factions involved, right? But one of them was like an animal rights activist group, right? And they were like, well,
they were the ones that trained the bears to fight.
No, yeah, that's where I'm going with this. Yeah, so these guys were basically like, okay, so animals are, more gentle than humans, and humans need to be, understanding of instincts and this, that, the other, and, all the death that we see in the world is all wrought by humans, so animals should be in charge. Their goal was to train these animals and put them in charge, which is kind of counterintuitive in the first place, because humans training animals to take the place of humans because humans are bad.
But
you see the issue here?
And hear me out, though. Hear me out. And this is just a crazy theory, okay? Now, don't call me like a tinfoil hatter or a conspiracy theorist or anything. But, and I've heard this, is the aliens actually returned for a little while from China. And that's actually when they introduced opium, but it was actually not for people. That's why people get so fucked up on it, It was for the bears because it actually helped them to reach a higher intellectual level so that they could fight in these wars.
Exactly.
So.
Yep. So. No, but really, I think it's crazy that like one of the major factions was this group, and they trained these bears that became highly effective in combat, except that their own faction couldn't control them, and they and things got real violent very quickly, which is very fun.
Yeah. So, Adrian, at this point, you're probably sitting here going, "What the hell are these people talking about?" I wanted to know what's going on in Russia right now, or at least within the last couple of months. Am I right?
That's controversial.
What?
Oh, but that's controversial.
Let me tell you a story, okay? This is a story about a man. About a man who all he wanted to do was live a normal life, okay? And I'm going to tell you about him.
And I'm going to tell you about him. Go on.
I'm not sure I like that. Imagine being born in Russia. Okay, just imagine. Imagine growing up on the streets. You're just a kid, and all you want to do is live your life. Just live your life. And sometimes you do things that are illegal, but you live in Russia. So they overreact, right? And they're like, hey, we're going to put you in a work camp. And you're like, okay, fine, I'm going to work in a work camp, but I'm going to work in chemical engineering, which, hey, cool. Russia's like, hey, prisoners, learn real shit and then work for us. And then after that, become a chef. Okay, become a chef, open up restaurants all over the country, very successful, and then start getting contracts with the government to feed school children, to feed the troops, to feed, whoever the government has to feed, which, it's communist Russia, so it's pretty much everyone. And yet no one at the same time.
Sorry, are we talking about like an HBO series or?
No, this is real life. This is actual real life.
Oh, okay, because this is really sounding like a great HBO series.
So you get bored of the chefing thing and you decide to start a mercenary group. You seem surprised by that. I could tell by your head movements. Yeah, those ones. Yeah. Cold Bear's
Yeah,
vodka.
it took a long time to master that. Oh, pog face. Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. I like that. You should do it more often. So the gentleman that we're talking about right now is the leader, only recently admitted, by the way, of what is known as the Wagner Group.
James McAvoy.
Very close.
Right?
Very close.
Oh.
Yeah, it was actually James Dean.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. That's not true. This was the one and only. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the subject of our current conversation, Yevgeny Prigozhin.
Welcome to the podcast, our next guest.
Hello, I am Russian mercenary and also chef.
So, what led you to start a mercenary group? Was it, did you develop a taste for blood after eating too rare of a steak at some point?
There is no such thing as too rare of steak. I am eating steak directly off of bone of mooing cow.
I see.
Because I am Russian and I am man and I drink vodka. And after I drink vodka, I eat cow.
Oh. Wow, Russian man drinking vodka and eating cow. That's excellent. Please.
I didn't know actually
tell me more.
That cows could actually survive in that kind of cold.
Are there cows in Russia?
I'm
sure there's some kind of cow.
I'm no bovine expert. But they don't have as much fur as bears, and even the bears are cold.
Listen, I'm no expert on the bovine creatures of our planet. However, I do know a little bit about Kalmyk cattle. That is to say, the
I feel like you're
Russian
start
beef cattle from the former Soviet Union, now found in the Russian Federation and in Kazakhstan. Now, these creatures have distinctive markings from other cows, and also long, straight horns that protrude directly upwards. I don't know.
No, keep going. We're all hanging on the edge of our seat.
Are you now? Well, let me tell you, they are originally from Western Mongolia. The males can get around 720 kilograms, whereas females right around 430 kilograms.
He's right, actually. Everything we're saying is true. Did I mention? Y'all heard the disclaimer. Don't worry about it. I'll put it up somewhere. The disclaimer explains it. Hey, if you haven't found them already, don't forget to use our sound alerts downstairs. Go ahead, push my buttons, and make this fun and get involved, guys. Because look, if you think that Aeolus is lying, freaking call him out. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna open up requests. If anybody wants to jump in on audio only, you are welcome to go ahead and request a spot in our little chat group here.
You want to
find the button? What is der button? Oh, der button. There it is. Sorry about that. So yeah, requests are now open. If you are a follower
James Buchanan is into mercenary in Russia?
No, James Buchanan is not. He's not. And I'll announce Yevgeny Prigozhin once again. So this is actually, Adrian, if you're actually really for realsies interested in actual things that are actually happening, this gentleman that I'm talking about is the leader of the Wagner Group. So the Wagner Group is the folks that have been in the news lately because of the whole revolting thing and the revolution and whatnots.
They did do this. Yep.
Only followers are going to be allowed to request, but that's it. Requests are now open.
Oh, I've been invited to join the stream. Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, what did you say about the Biden administration?
Well, listen. You know, when
we're not allowed to talk about drugs on the stream.
Civil war started in Russia. It's really interesting that approximately, what was it, $6 billion
what did I request?
Pentagon,
I don't know.
Right,
Looks like
right before.
You didn't request anything. Request it again. Request it again, Neb. I know you've got questions. I know you've got comments. I know you've got snide remarks. Funny jokes. Do you have any dad jokes? I just got here. He's like, stop picking on me. I know, and welcome. Thank you for joining in. If you hadn't caught on, participation by viewers is a 100% recommended. Required.
You're not allowed to be here if you're not.
Listen,
talking.
I got yelled at last time for calling people out.
Oh.
Apparently, it's not a nice thing to do.
I yell at you for that?
Thank you, Adrian, for redeeming that. That actually was 100 channel points, which should actually put you in the lead for next week. Oh, too bad you can't pick 2 weeks in a row. But if you win,
that's rough.
I'll still let you be in the running to pick my background. Otherwise, it's going to be just more of the same. Maybe. Where were we? We were talking about Russians and war. Oh, I had a question I wanted to ask you. Are we done with the Bolsheviks? Do we want to go back to the turn of the century?
We can go back to the turn of the century if you want.
Well, look, the whole point of bringing that up in the first place was to kind of set the stage, okay? Look, Russia is a very complicated place, except it's pretty much been the same place since the 1920s. I mean, the Soviet Union collapsed in, what, 1991? And, 91?
And not a lot has changed.
Yeah, 91.
I mean, they have the same flag as before. The Soviet
Putin was KGB, man.
He really was.
He was KGB. At least that's what my government tells me. And I always listen to the talking heads on CNN, MSNBC, Fox News especially,
Fox News.
So that I can know all of the things that have to be true because they're not allowed to lie on TV.
I get all of my true facts from the Joe Rogan podcast.
Have you heard the shit he says about aliens? I don't know if he knows about the China thing, though.
True facts that he tells us every day, Milkman. You need to open your mind, sir.
Psychedelics, mushrooms, nothing is real. Nebula, no life. I believe you are on to something here. Nothing is real. So when you say nothing is real, are we talking more like all of this is in our imagination, or we are collectively being used as batteries for a artificial intelligence that has taken over the world? And I'm not talking about a particular popular movie from the late 90s, but I am, though.
Oh, what movie would that be?
The Matrix.
Oh.
Did you never see that one?
No.
It's got Ted Theodore Logan in it.
Oh,
he knows kung fu.
Theodore Logan.
He knows kung fu.
He does.
Yeah, but it's not real kung fu. It's more like it's like a Tai Chi thing where you don't actually hit anybody.
Yeah, that's the one where the bad guy's played by Jason David Frank, right?
Yeah, that is correct.
Gotcha.
And he wears all white. Actually, his wedding day.
The helmet gave it away.
What were we talking about? We got off topic there.
Power Rangers, apparently.
Well, yeah, but that's where we got to anyway. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. So controversy. We Russia wants Ukraine. All right. Everybody knows that Russia wants Ukraine. They wanted Ukraine for ever since the fall of the Soviet Union, and it was essentially ceded into the hands of their puppet government.
One of the little mini civil wars that led to the creation of the Soviet Union was them trying to take Ukraine, which is really interesting.
Was them taking Ukraine. I mean, it was part of
Yeah,
the
it wasn't
Soviet.
taking Ukraine. Yeah, it just was.
I mean,
It wasn't trying.
Didn't try. Success. Good job there.
They fought pretty good.
They fought nobly, as one can on the back of a bear. They're awkward.
That was the other guys.
They move a lot, and so it's like
That was the guys on the Mongolian side of Russia fighting their little animal rights fight.
Right. That is correct. Yeah.
And if you don't believe me and you think that story is bullcrap, you come in here and try to contest that. I will come at you with facts and logic.
Both of those things together create truth. Believe
That's right.
this.
But believe it. Like Naruto Uzumaki. Sorry.
I almost feel like our conversation is maybe just like too off the wall. How do you feel about this? Look, in case y'all hadn't noticed, we're still experimenting with things. So we had a super good, real conversation last week with Mr. President about businesses, which, by the way, I am still working on my business plan for starting up in Ivory Coast. So that's forthcoming. I'm going to post it somewhere else. We probably won't bring it up again on the podcast. But I thought, since it was so real last week, let's make it completely not real this week.
Yeah.
But not real. Not real. Like, don't get me wrong. Here's the thing. Yes, I brought in my cartoon, real-life actual brother.
I was going to say, your guest is a cartoon, and you're talking about it
Literally
being
not real. No, hold on. Neb, stop. Here's the thing is, everything is not real. Not everything is real, but not everything is not real. Does that make sense? Lol. All right, well,
if I count on my fingers, I feel like I get there eventually.
You don't have fingers. This is why Hawaiian Cobra always has to scratch your nose for you.
Okay. First of all, there's a whole me here. I even got feet. Okay. The whole thing
right
if I don't
now?
got legs, it's all an illusion. It's all a lie. It's all a lie for the masses. It's a joke, bro. It's a joke. It's a joke to make you laugh. Ha ha funny. Ha ha funny. I don't have feet. I don't have legs. No, I do. I do. There's a whole me. There's a whole Aeolus here, but he can't move. He's paralyzed, and you make fun of it.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much to Mr. Hawaiian Cobra for that raid of all of your sweet viewers. Ladies and gentlemen, you have no idea what you've just gotten yourselves into, because
I'm really sorry you all had to see that.
Is topic of conversation. And since y'all are new here, I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself one more time. I am David Cobb, aka Milkman of Bad Sniper Gaming and Entertainment. If you've seen me before, no you haven't. This is my real life actual brother. As you can see, he's a cartoon. Yes, he was birthed that way. He came with the red pandas. They were there when he was born.
They follow me.
They do. Topic of conversation is about real conversations. Okay, real conversations about fake things sometimes. Also about real things. We're going to leave it up to you to decide which one is which. The whole point is that you guys get to pick the topic of conversation every week, so the person with the most humble opinions at the end of the thing get to pick the thing at the end of the thing. Right now, who's winning right now? Cobra, tell me who's winning right now. Probably Adrian. Well, actually, no, it's probably you, because you just did that raid. So, where are we at?
Adrian,
Leaderboard?
I think, was winning, and then raid made Cobra. Adrian can't win anyway, though, because Adrian won last week. You can't win 2 weeks in a row.
I know.
Also,
that. So,
I can't win.
So right now, Cobra
Otherwise-
is in
I would.
Is in the lead there. So if all of y'all want to hear what Cobra wants us to talk about next week, I recommend you don't do anything. If all of you want to save us from a potentially life-threatening conversation, use those channel points, play with the slot machine doodads and whatnot, in which you can multiply those. And of course, don't forget to follow the channel. Most everything is free here, so if you want to make noise, down below, I'm not talking about down there, I mean down there, there's buttons to make noise. Just push buttons, okay? I'm tired of explaining all of this to you people.
The Pillsbury Doughboy. You know the Pillsbury Doughboy? You poke him, Milkman's the same way.
You say Glock, Glock? He wants to see my gun.
What?
Nebula wants to see my gun. He's talking about Glocks. Glock.
It's a little dirty, my guy.
Probably. I didn't clean it after our last range day. Anyway, look, guys, back on topic. This is a very important topic that we're talking about. And it doesn't matter how you feel about it. You don't go rushing into somebody's home with an AK-47. Right?
That's true.
Yes.
And yet,
downstairs in the description, outside of the box that I'm currently living in. Okay? Wait, what? President, you're going to have to elaborate on that. I don't know what that means. But while we're waiting, does anybody in the chat, I'm curious, have any opinions on the war in Ukraine? I'm gonna open this up because I want to know how you feel about it. Because when we talk about this, the civil war that happened in Russia, this was actually the Wagner Group. They were pissed off because they didn't like the way that Putin was treating them. Supposedly. Okay, here's the thing, and hear me out, okay? I think that it was all planned by Putin to make it look like there was more going on. Like, oh no, and now they have to fight off the invaders who were once their friends. Oh, but just kidding, they're gonna make a deal, and so on and so forth.
I disagree.
Do it. Disagree with what? What do you want to say? The war is kind of crazy, but first, Adrian, shush. The war is kind of crazy because it's Russia trying to retake land that is its own country now. Yeah, but here's the tricky thing, and hang on, I'm going to read Neb's thing real quick. I feel bad for anyone hurt who doesn't deserve it. Anyone hurting people despite being brainwashed can suck a nut. Or two. I added that last part myself because I've got two. I prefer both of them at the same time. That said, NATO. All right. The whole issue is NATO because Russia's whole thing, and this was the agreement in the first place, was NATO's not going to expand closer and closer to Russia's borders. And guess what NATO did? They expanded closer and closer into Poland, into, those other ones around that area. I don't have a map up right now, and I don't remember off the top of my head. So it's hard to say who deserves what. I don't think anybody deserves to get hurt, per se. But I believe that we never know the full story.
That's the wrong way.
You're upside down. He's upside down.
I didn't mean to do that. Okay.
What were you gonna say though, my dear brother?
There we go. Now when I turn and look at you where you are on my screen, I turn and look at you. Okay, this is good. This is better.
I'm not gonna do better. My camera's there. You're over there.
That's okay. It makes me feel better.
Just a reminder to everybody in chat, we do have requests open if you want to pop in and give your 2 cents or crazy conspiracy theories or anything that has anything to do with what we're talking about. It could also be not related to what we're talking about. Just depends, I guess, on what you want to do.
So here's my thoughts on the Wagner Group.
All right, let's hear it.
I think the Wagner Group is related to the Ukraine war, just as you do.
Talk louder.
However, hello.
You're mumbling.
I believe that the Wagner Group is related to the Ukraine war in the same way that you do, as far as it being, equal and opposite not, I don't know what I'm saying. It's its own thing, but it does have to do with it, right? In your case, you're saying you think that the Russians are kind of using it as a distraction, to kind of almost what to make pity for them. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
What's the?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like
Okay.
it's all kind of a. It's for show. It's a distraction.
It's for sure. Okay, so I don't think that's the case. I actually think that the Wagner Group, being a mercenary group,
Carry on.
was hired by the U.S. government.
Wagner Group. What?
What?
Listen.
What?
Say that again.
What are they called?
You think the Wagner Group was hired by the U.S. government?
Absolutely.
The Wagner Group was formed in 2014 by this guy who I was speaking about earlier, Yevgeny Prigozhin, Russian fellow.
Yeah.
Specifically to assist Russia in taking, in their first offensive against Ukraine, taking the Crimean Peninsula there. So please, no, tell me again how the United States bought it. But before they do, before you are telling me more than that, how many points to see the cartoon scratch his nose? Oh, you're getting called out there, broski.
Actually, well, maybe I should say, okay, well, listen.
All right, while he works on that, we're also going to read Nebula No Life says, we never will know the whole story. This is why people still argue about religion. And we have every intention of arguing about religion. I have fun with religion because I don't agree with anybody on religion, like literally anybody. It's a lot of fun to have religious conversations, especially with people who are within my own faith, who, have their very standardized way of thinking of things, and me being like, oh yeah, watch this. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, we'll have religious discussions later, assuming that's what the people want to hear, because again, this show is all about what you guys want to hear. So don't forget to use those channel points. Don't forget to rack up those humble opinions. I'm always happy to give my humble opinions away, so here, take them. You're very philosophical. Well, Nebula, that's good. Maybe we could have a conversation sometime. You would join? Dude, join right now. Requests are open, man. Pop in, say whatever you want. Let me make my dinner and I'll request. Ooh, Mr. President wants to jump in. We always love to hear what Mr. President has to say, so hopefully we'll have him popping in a little bit. Not hired by us, because no oil. We only invade countries with oil. All right, Adrian, I like that.
Okay, but that's okay.
They have other things, metals and things, lithium and whatnot.
They have all of the gases that are required to make lasers that we use to make our circuit boards. So literally, technology gets shut down without trade with Russia. So anyway, the reason I think that the United States government hired the Wagner Group is because 2 weeks before the Wagner Group did what they did, the Pentagon, quote, lost track of $6.8 billion.
The CIA,
according to the
right?
Pentagon, the CIA lost track of $6.8 billion due to an accounting error, according to them. It was an accounting error, and they lost $6.8 billion, which is also approximately how much it would cost to do what the Wagner Group did.
Well, I mean, who looked at their pricing sheet and was like, you know what, I'm not so sure we can afford these guys. Do you think we can shop around for a Russian paramilitary group?
Listen,
I'm just saying, you say $6.8 million. Okay. Look, first of all, the DoD is making money disappear all the time.
With a B.
Okay.
A B.
They're making money disappear all the time.
2 weeks before a civil war in Russia led by a mercenary group.
It was a bloody civil war. Half of the population was wiped off the face of the motherland, the mothership, because we know they were actually aliens. Speaking of China,
I'm just saying.
How does China feel about all this?
Well, I don't know.
They're probably like, "Oh, we want our bears back." That was a terrible Chinese accent. I'm not gonna try that one again.
That was not a good Chinese accent. No,
that was really bad.
I
Which reminds me, hey, completely unrelated. You know that guy, and y'all love this meme, the emotional damage. That guy, Stephen Ho, I think is his name. Stephen
Ho. Yeah.
Ho. Dude's Irish.
Is he?
I mean, he's Chinese, but his nationality is Irish. He was.
And oh my gosh, he is.
His family moved to Ireland when he was 8 years old. Yeah, I found out that
his last name's O'Brien. What?
Yeah,
his name's Stephen O'Brien.
Right.
What? Or O'Brien.
I found that out, and you know what? I've met Black Irish. I've met White Irish. Why not Yellow Irish too? That one came out feeling real weird. I'm gonna take that back.
Yeah, I think you need to take that one back. I think
my wife's behind me cringing. I can hear her cringing.
Isn't your wife Asian?
I apologize.
Yeah, I think you're gonna need a...
Look, if you can diminish me to the color of my skin... That's right, Mr. President. That's exactly right. I am going to own it. I'm going to own it. Because if my skin is white, which, by the way, you'll notice it's not all that white. It's light. But you're gonna call me white. I'm just saying, look. It's not racism if it's true.
You know what's crazy is that it can be racist and true.
Hang on, I gotta see if my live is still
anyway.
Cancelled yet. I'm still live. We're still okay, guys. It's okay.
That's why we're moving to Kick.
Screw that. If I was gonna move to Kick, I'd have to have a really good gambling app to get on. I'm going to call you Caucasian from the mountains from Caucasus. Caucasus.
Hey.
You should spell that C-O-C-K though.
Sir, that's inappropriate.
Caucasus. That guy's got a very suspicious caucus. Anyway, you know what? I'm curious about that. She said I'm pretty fly for a Caucasian. Hey, I'm really glad you stayed on the theme of The Offspring, though, because if you didn't hear my disclaimer earlier, it's right along those lines. So thank you for bringing in another Offspring song. That actually makes me very happy. I knew I liked this Nebula guy. I'm sorry. What? Dexter was Asian. He was Korean.
Are you okay? Are you having a stroke? Milkman's not even Caucasian. So there. Caucasian generally refers to Mediterranean peoples, and Milkman's.
You're talking really quiet. Like every time you start saying actual like real things, you start. I'm watching it on my. Don't do that. You're gonna break things. Stop. Just stop it right now. You're a terrible person.
Goodness gracious.
What were we talking about? Caucasians, white people.
Caucasians. You are not Caucasian.
No, this is the tangent. We're not talking. We're talking about Chinese bears in Russia.
Not Caucasian either, and neither are the Russians. Sorry.
Elaborate. Look, if you want to elaborate, but talk into the microphone.
Caucasians are specifically people around the Mediterranean Sea. The Caucasians are your Italians and Greeks and that sort of thing.
State your source, you lying liar.
No.
Look, I know something's out of place when even my wife is over here laughing at the crap that just fell out of your mouth. State your sauce. Okay. Ranch, I guess.
Caucasian is an obsolete racial classification of humans based on a now disproven theory of biological race.
How are you gonna call me a Caucasian? You know what? Shut up, because I'm about to get Mr. President's opinion on all of these things. Mr. President, I'm waiting for you to connect. Did I push the wrong button? It says you're in queue. I'm not gonna auto add guests to call. I don't know what kind of crazies are up in here. All right, while we're waiting for that, because we're gonna have to take this back. Okay, so we're talking about Wagner Group, we're talking about Ukraine, and the Russian doodads, right? Oh
yeah, Wagner Group, Ukraine, Russian doodads. Speaking of Russian doodads,
after you switch to Chrome, do that request again, because I guess I hit the wrong button. And I think that Mr. President's going to come in here and school us on this, because he has top secret information that has been declassified. At the highest levels, he is, after all, the president. All he has to do is take it home with him, and it's implied that it is declassified.
If I am everything that is fake in the world, he is everything that is real.
That's true. You guys are like yin and yang, you know?
That's true.
Yeah. You're yang.
So.
Yeah. What were we talking about? I'm so off right now. All right. We're going to go ahead and grab Mr. President Streaming's request here, waiting for guests to connect. What were we talking about, though? Okay. So yeah, back to Ukraine. All right. So no matter what you think about the war, okay, the question is, what the heck is Wagner Group up to? Right?
Nothing now. I mean, probably going to prison.
Why'd they? No, they're not. They've been pardoned or whatever.
Because probably the Russian government's a little scared of them, considering.
I doubt that. Probably they still pay their bills.
No, I mean, imagine it's like, oh, you took over 3 cities with 0 resistance because you had the support of the people and were capable of marching on Moscow, and then chose not to because you didn't want to actually spill any Russian blood. We're going to try to arrest you now.
Russia is a disarmed population. It couldn't have been that hard for them to take over 3 cities full of people that would be fighting with pitchforks. Probably they're like, you know what? We don't want to. We're not involved. Just leave us alone.
They took over a military base. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but where were all the people that should have been on the military base?
They took over the second largest military base in Russia.
You know what? I want to hear. Oh, shite. I'm just breaking things. Hold on. Wait. Don't anybody do anything. Oh, no. Guys, I totally screwed up my vertical
mercenary group
stuff.
Went and took over friggin' one of the airspace
All right,
bases.
your turn's over, Aeolus. I want to hear what Mr. President has to say. Mr. President, welcome to the stream. How you doing, my guy?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
All right, nice. Let me mute this. All right. This is a very interesting topic. I was very excited for this.
Is that right?
Some probably better insight than most. I would say a lot of what is being projected is likely planned. Especially back when I was in 2014, when Russia went into Crimea. It wasn't likely that we were going to interfere. I was actually, the day after they invaded, I was having a meeting with the colonel of my regiment, and I asked him. It was myself, him, Sergeant Vader, and several other individuals. And I don't know why. I don't know if you can. I can't hear you, but either way.
I don't think anybody was talking. We're just listening. We're waiting to hear from you.
This is
my mouth is going all over the place because I'm eating,
chewing. Go on.
But because I exist in a void and I'm a cartoon, it gets very weird.
In my opinion, it's already premeditated how things are going to go, and the only outliers are how everyone is going to react to it. Yeah, I believe there's a grand scheme of how the general consensus of NATO and everyone else is going to partake in this, but it's very interesting how everything's conveniently playing out. Things are starting to fizzle out in the Ukrainian war, how things are starting to die down, how one side started to make a massive push, and it's not really gaining traction in the news. Something starts to kick up. And it's all very peculiar to me how it's all working out.
I agree with that 100%. And I think anybody outside of your position, I mean, obviously you have definitely more insider knowledge on that stuff. I think it's apparent enough to us that something weird's going on. Like somebody like you probably is like, yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on. It's definitely not right. So that's awesome, man. Thank you for your insight. I appreciate you. Can you hear me?
I have questions.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. I would say just don't rush to take one side. Okay, yeah. So I'm just gonna preface right now. I can't hear you through the backstage. I'm listening to you through the Firefox.
Oh.
So you're taking a second to hear us.
That's why there's some lag. That's fine. I get that. No worries. I understand. I wasn't expecting your camera to come through.
Yeah.
I forgot to switch it to audio only, but that's fine because we love your beautiful face. Because I haven't said that today. Now I have. Go on.
Now we wait.
That's some significant lag. Hang on, let me.
Oh, what? Okay. Now we wait. Now we're gonna wait for.
No, there it is. Okay.
Cannolis rebuttal.
Okay. No, I have questions. About. Okay, so you say it seems to be a plan sort of.
I am winning
thing,
today, and
it's
I
all
am
part
gonna
of the
pick the
plan.
damn
What's
topic
going on?
next
So
week.
what is that plan? What's the plan? If it's all part of the plan, what's the plan? And I say this about a lot of like.
Good sound.
Oh, I think I just broke this stuff. Can you hear me?
Oh.
Hello?
Sorry,
Romance.
Gobra did a voice thing. It came out in voice. I was unaware of that. He says, look, I'm winning today, and I'm going to pick the damn topic next week. Looks like with that, you probably will. But sorry, guys. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
Go
you're
on.
no, you're good. So I always say this with like conspiracy theories and stuff like that I always make this argument with flat earthers, right? You know, the whole world is conspiring to make you believe the earth is round when the earth is actually flat. And I'm like, okay, well, why? What's the end goal? What's the plan? And so that's my question for you. If this is all a planned thing, they have it all planned out, they know what they're doing. What's the end goal? What's the plan? Is it the reformation of the Soviet Union?
Why?
What's the
Yes.
why?
I mean, yes for Russia, in my opinion, but there's more to it than that.
And from who? Is it both sides? Are they working together? Is that what you're saying? I don't.
So, all right.
Do it.
So I believe from multiple fronts. The one theory that I have is it's just it's to continue to perpetuate this manufactured situation we have, to keep people focused on
My money don't
this
jiggle
one
jiggle,
single
it
one
folds.
single
I like
thing
to
that's
see you
going on
wiggle
in the
wiggle,
world.
for sure,
And
make me wanna dribble dribble. You know,
keep them focused on
right
something
in
while
my
something
beard,
is
you
happening.
really have to
that
see it.
a
6
higher
feet,
power
two in
is
a
doing in the
compact.
background.
No slack, but luckily the seats go back. I got a knack to
On the
relax
other
my
hand,
mind.
I
Doesn't
believe
sound
it's-
red wine.
It's hard
All
to say
right, real
because I
quick.
had the thought
Sorry.
in my head now.
Sorry, Prez.
It's-
You're getting interrupted.
it's
I
very
apologize
interesting.
for that.
Now, aside from keeping people distracted from something larger at hand that
Wait
they're
for
trying
it.
to do,
Wait for it.
it could
hear you in a
be
second.
outside factors having an influence on Russia itself. And a lot of people aren't going to agree with me on this, but
Pass that.
siding with Ukraine blindly, yes, I feel for the Ukraine people.
Right, yeah.
And granted, I have your stuff muted right now, so if you're trying to talk, I apologize. But I feel for the Ukraine people itself, but for Ukraine as a whole, people don't understand how corrupt that country is. From the racism and how everything else is botched together. And if you look at their history, even when you had volunteer groups from the United States and other countries trying to go to that country to assist in the war, you had people that were non-citizens having their whatever guns, whatever taken away, and just getting put to the front as just meat shields. Like something with that is off to me. I have friends that went over that I served with, and they were trying to do the right thing, and they either died and didn't come back, or two, they said things are not as they seem, and they cannot say more than that without things happening. This whole situation is very off to me. It's not a traditional war. Things don't seem right.
100%. And for those of you listening and who don't know Mr. President, I'm not gonna out him on what he did in the military and everything like that. I don't know all the details of it personally anyway, but he is somebody that you can trust on this. So what he says comes from firsthand experience. It comes from firsthand sources. So I mean, if you're even questioning his veracity at all there, don't. He's legitimate. Okay. That said, did we just get an ad there? Just got a friggin' ad break there. Well, anyway, I just want to real quick say thank you for making me dance to My Money Don't Jiggle Jiggle. Obviously, that's one of my faves, so thank you for that. And a big, huge shout out to Adrian Tempish with the 200 bits cheer. Definitely appreciate that. Again, you don't have to donate, but it's always appreciated when you do. So look, we just got the real story about Ukraine from Mr. President, so I'm not going to argue with him.
But I will say it's from a point of view, and at the end of the day, I think we don't see the strings, right? We don't see the strings that are controlling everything, and we don't necessarily know how high it goes up, and we don't know what it's really about at the end of the day. Is it about taking land? Is it about something else? It's definitely not about what they say it's about. It's not about what anyone says it's about. It's never that. When it all first started, I thought it was about... I was so certain it was about gases for lasers, which I mentioned earlier.
Because they're starting wars in space, and so it's the lasers.
Exactly, it's all about the lasers.
Star Wars.
No, because you need lasers
Aliens,
to build computer
they
power.
brought the bears, they put the lasers on their heads, and took them to China.
No, you put the lasers on the dolphins' heads.
Oh.
Get it right now.
I bet. Hope so.
Haven't you ever played Command & Conquer?
Have I?
But
That's what we should be doing right now.
That's what we should be doing right now. How about a rousing game of Age of Empires after this? But yeah, no, I mean it's one of those things where it's like you can't agree or disagree with any opinions on it, because at the end of the day we don't know, and it's like everybody can have your opinions on it, but there's so much going on. All we know is that it's not what it seems. That's the only thing we can know for sure, is that's not what it seems, which I think is kind of the point that President is making in a lot of ways, is that he doesn't know what's going on, but it's not what it seems.
It's not right. Something
right
feels off
thinking
about
that?
it.
Am I right in thinking that, President?
There we go. Is he right?
Yeah, I'm gonna make us.
He's like, is he talking to me?
Is he talking right now? Is President talking?
We can't hear a second.
Yes, hey, there we go.
There
I
he
muted myself,
is.
so you didn't hear me.
There we go.
Everything. Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
Hey, you're in sync too, aren't you?
Hey, are you hearing us live now?
But
Maybe not.
yeah, I agree with that, and that's the thing. It's like I don't want to throw all my eggs in one basket, and it's very discerning how everything is going on and why everything is going on. One, we don't know why. Two, it's so wild how everything's going.
Agreed. I know I'm supposed to be the devil's advocate, but I don't know. Them Ruskies.
Feels a little icky to try to play devil's advocate on this sort of situation.
Look, when everybody's the devil, who do you agree with?
That's a good point.
Exactly.
Now, I will make one point that I think we can all agree with. That's if President were to lean over to his left a little bit more, it would really look like I'm sniffing him all the time. And
Hey, Joe Biden.
Give him a sniff there. Give him a little sniff.
That's
All
I
right.
think that's something we can all
All right,
appreciate.
creepy Uncle Joe. Why don't I tug on your leg hairs a little bit there?
Oh god.
All right.
It was my own joke and I'm uncomfortable. Oh gosh.
Prez, were you wanting to stick around? I'll keep you on if you want to. Otherwise, I
Sniff me,
can let
Grandpa.
you go.
Oh, it's
Sniff
all
me,
good, man.
What's that?
Do whatever you need to do.
Well, no, I mean, I'm always happy to have your opinion on it. I didn't want to take you up 3 weeks in a row. I mean,
No, you're good. No, I wanted to come on completely uninformed as an outsider looking in, just as a spectator, as a normal layman in today's world.
yeah.
And then just give an outside perspective looking in, along with the little limited knowledge I have from the experience I have.
Cool.
President,
Can-
before you go,
Oh,
oh sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, President, before you go, I'd like to get your opinion on something we were talking
Oh,
about a
no.
little bit earlier in
Okay.
reference to the Russian Civil War.
Actually, I'm glad you
is,
brought this
of
up.
course,
Really glad.
This
because
is not the first time that a Russian Civil War has happened. In fact, back in 1912, obviously, the original Russian Civil War that led to the creation of the Soviet Union.
1917, but close enough.
Yeah, he wasn't
one way or
busy.
another.
He just abandoned me like my daddy
Yeah,
did.
he wasn't busy. He just abandoned me like my daddy did. Call me daddy again. Call me daddy again.
Anyway, so during that time, there was a faction in the war that believed that animals were morally superior to humans and should take over, and in their beliefs decided to train bears to fight in the war. Do you believe that group is going to make a return? And if
They
so,
could.
are they going to be assisted by the aliens that clearly control China?
They could. You never know.
Also-
What else could be thrown into the media to detract our attention?
Hey,
even
no,
more
you know what?
what's going
Daddy.
That
Excuse me,
actually-
Daddy.
Shut up, Cobra. You win already, all right? Just get out of here. Aliens. Look, all right, listen. Ukraine war crap starts, right? And all of a sudden, U.S. is going, oh, aliens again. CIA is releasing information about aliens and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's a big old WTF from me, man. Like, if that's not, like, just screaming distraction from other things, I don't know what is. Am I right?
Yes.
Absolutely. Anytime the government brings up aliens, they're distracting you from something. Period.
Okay, I'm glad we got that out of the way.
They might be distracting you from aliens, by the way. I mean,
They could.
Yeah, right?
It
We're
could
not,
be a hiding in plain
Turn into
sight.
Master
we're
Chief.
not
About
the
the
aliens
abducted
you're
to
looking
be
for.
alive.
No. Hunter Biden is definitely a real human being. The laptop is actually his mothership,
Listen, we can all
They're
agree
trying
that
to get it back.
unfortunately,
but their
He is
FOIA
a real
request
human
keeps getting denied.
You know who I don't think is a real human being? Kim Jong-un. I think Kim Jong-un died, and that he was replaced.
Yo, hold on. We can't go into Koreans again. We roasted them enough a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh, especially with Cobra. Cobra was having at it last week.
Yeah. Nebula says it's actually stranger things in Russia. He says there was also so much news during the time the Titanic sank that was so important. People missed far more important than the Titanic sub that was harvesting all the attention. It's actually funny that you bring that up because Prez is versed in history, I believe, and I think he knows exactly what was going on right around that same time in the United States with the Fed, with the IRS, with central banking all over the world.
Are you talking about the Titanic and how
Yes,
it
sir.
was built by J.P. Morgan
Uh-huh.
and J.P. Morgan
Uh-huh.
invited all of his
And how everybody who
his
died
quote-unquote
was his
competition.
enemies. Yeah,
yeah.
dude.
And ironically, he couldn't make it minutes before.
Oh, couldn't make
Ironically,
it all of a
ironically.
sudden
Couldn't
to
make
his
it
own ship.
minutes
Oh, that's
before it set sail.
crazy. Oh, and the unsinkable ship that didn't have enough life rafts for everyone.
Nebula,
And-
you gotta understand, if you're gonna say stuff like that, you gotta be ready to go down a rabbit hole, because
Started.
Oh
the
yeah,
people
we can go down
that
a
you're
rabbit
talking
hole.
to.
So also too, there's also something now that was never the Titanic itself. It was the Olympus, and with the Olympus, it was an older ship that essentially,
Had
on top
damage
of
already.
getting, getting rid of whatever we're talking about, JP Morgan and his competition, he was going to get insurance money off it as well.
Whoa, so you're saying that the Titanic never existed? They just
No.
No.
That Titanic never sank.
So he's talking about a sister ship to the
Whoa.
Titanic that
Yeah,
actually
this is
had
the Olympus.
previous.
That's a whole new thing now.
They
that,
essentially took
yeah.
the Olympus, renamed it, and set it out to sink so that they could collect the insurance money rather than having to put
It's
out
a
the money to
whole
repair it.
wild thing.
If
So
you
the
haven't heard
actual
about
Titanic
it, look it up.
is the Olympus? That's interesting.
Oh, it's a whole wild thing. You got to
It's a
look
whole
up
thing.
on
I
it.
haven't heard that. That's crazy. You know what
Yeah.
we need to do? We do need to do a full conspiracy theory episode.
Oh,
We
that would
really
be
do.
phenomenal. Because how
would
you're
be
talking about
so
going
much
after flat earthers.
Hey,
Have you
it's
heard of the
all-
Hollow
look,
Earth theory?
It's all about
Oh,
what
I know the
people
Hollow Earth
want.
theory.
It's
Oh,
all
yeah.
about what the
Goodness.
people want. If the viewers choose that,
I
then
love
that's
it.
what they choose.
I love it.
So
I love conspiracy theories because so many it's like, oh yeah, that sounds right, and then so many it's just like, no, that's so dumb. But the people who believe it are like, no, this is correct and true.
this is right.
And everybody
I can't
in
prove
the
it,
world
but it must.
is
What about Alec Jones
lying
saying,
to me and knows
them
about it,
putting chemicals in the water to turn the frogs gay?
which was
But guess
true.
what? That was true. It was.
like it was. I mean, the way he said it was very crude and not really how it was working, but technically, yes,
It was right.
the chemicals they were putting in the water were turning the freaking frogs gay. It was a little more complex than that, but yeah,
Well,
that's what was happening.
Listen, look, we've got time. If you want to explain to us how it actually works, tell us. Aeolus,
Yeah, exactly.
how would you turn the frogs gay?
Well, okay, so what was actually happening is that the chemicals were killing all the females, and that specific species of frog has the ability to change its gender when it's not able to find a mate. And so what happened is a lot of the male frogs were turning into females.
That's fantastic. Stop talking.
So it was turning the freaking frogs gay,
All right, so
which is crazy.
gay frogs, Alex Jones, aliens, the Titanic, J.P. Morgan, guys. We'll have time to discuss all of this, but you tell me, would you consider the Wagner experience, we're going to call it the Wagner experience, now it was an experience that they had, would you
Sounds
call
like
that
a
a civil war?
Man.
Because this is actually the thing that's been eating me up all week, is would you call that a civil war? I mean, I didn't see cannons, I didn't see, ironclad ships, I didn't see a single cavalry unit on horseback.
But that's not war anymore. I think the only reason I wouldn't define it as a civil war is because they backed down after a day. I would call it a minor uprising, not a civil
This is
war.
what they're doing to humans secretly. There's just gas in the air. Oh, Nebula wants to get into chemtrails now.
Hey, let's talk chemtrails. Here's the thing about chemtrails. Everybody's talking about, oh, well, now they're using chemtrails to change the weather. Look, we're talking about a government that spends how much money on defense spending? How much to spend defense spending every year?
6.8 billion.
No, 6.8 billion was lost by accident. It's
Right,
so
right,
much
right.
more.
My
It's
bad.
trillions and trillions every year.
My bad.
You think
you're
these
right.
guys don't know how to control the weather? Like, sorry. Anyway. Hi.
All right, so Civil War. Civil War. What do you have? What? I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. What are the requirements for a civil war?
Are you talking to
I
me?
think
Or?
I don't
passion
know. Just
and a
somebody
concern-
answer my question.
a passion and a concerted effort. A civil war is an attempt at revolution. These guys weren't attempting a revolution,
No,
as evidenced
no,
by the fact
look,
that they
look,
backed
it's-
down after
it's-
a day.
Listen, it's a civil war, all right? You're going to sit down, you're going to drink some tea, maybe have a brew, have a nice conversation. We're talking civil here, okay? We're not talking about these barbarians who have barbarian wars. I mean, come on, this is we're a civil
that's
society.
actually a good point. Why would it be called a civil war if they're never particularly civil? That's a very silly thing, after all.
That is a silly thing.
A civil war should be like a game of chess, you know? Unless you're like XUC. I've never seen XUCs play a
It should
civil
be
game of chess.
it should be like the end of the second Sherlock Holmes movie, the one with Robert Downey Jr.
Where they play a game
there's-
of chess, and then
but it's all
when they finish, they throw each other off the ledge of the yeah.
Right. It was civil up until that point.
Yeah. It was like, oh, you beat me at chess, super cool. Perish.
Hold on. Adrian thinks we're using civil wrong. Adrian, I dare you to come on here and tell me what exactly it's supposed to mean. I
Yeah,
dare
what do you mean? What do you mean we're using the word
I
civil wrong?
dare
Last
you.
I
I've
checked,
got a-
civil means
I've got
like
a
being
third
nice to
guest
each other.
slot opening up right now with your freaking name on it. But I'm not a paleontologist. You know what? That's actually a valid point. Paleontology is actually one of the more important of the tologies. Right up next to gynecology and
Scientology.
mixicology.
Speaking of Scientology, y'all seen the new Mission Impossible movie?
Oh.
That was a weird segue. No, but I'd love to
love
hear
this
how the
show.
Jews run Hollywood.
Milkman, I love this show so much. I'm so glad you
Wow.
created this
Hey, you know
podcast.
what?
I
I'm just glad
absolutely
that you're
thrive
here.
in this environment.
You know, I didn't know that about you. You know, I haven't known this guy very long. I actually found him
Yeah.
on the streets. He was in a box. You know, it was lined with just nothing but pandas, and I was like, this guy looks like he needs a home. So
Yeah, but
I
I
was
a
actually a
real-life
part of
brother.
individual parts that he put me together. Yeah. Gave me a soul. He stole it from someone else. I don't know.
I mean, I want you to wave to everyone.
do your thing again. He's got a body, ladies and gentlemen. He wants to show you his body.
Hi! I'm
wants-
waving to you. This is me waving. Are you happy? Did that make you happy? Are you happy with the decisions that you've made in your life that have led you to this point? Huh?
I feel like I wish I could put you back in our mother's womb.
I feel like I'm too big now. I feel like
Well,
now I'm
I-
really
well,
sniffing president.
I mean-
Okay, there we go. That's better.
I mean, they are doing abortions postpartum.
Oh god. I'm a cartoon. You're gonna need that juice from friggin' Roger Rabbit.
It's
Melt me down.
Oh,
nobody knows Roger Rabbit.
You.
I
friend
know
Roger
Roger
Rabbit.
listen
That
here, old
guy-
man. I
I'm
know. Roger.
old.
Listen-
Of
You
course,
listen
I know.
here. Doc Hollywood
Brown, Doc Brown.
is
You don't
gonna
even know.
melt me
You don't know Back to
down.
the Future. Come on. This guy.
I knew Doc Brown, but I was thinking of what could be funnier to say, and nothing was coming to mind.
Doc Hollywood.
I don't know, man.
That's Michael J. Fox, though. You didn't know that either.
Well, I don't know, man.
Oh,
I don't know.
Clearly.
Sorry.
You know what? Speaking of millennials.
Incredibly inappropriate of me.
Oh, guys, hey, good conversation. That's been some good talk there. So, you know, I think next week our guest, our co-host is going to be one of the Russian bears from China. They're going to tell us all
the
about
ones with the lasers strapped to their backs.
yeah, they're going
Putin
to tell us
himself.
all about the Great Wall, and I always wondered exactly how many kilometers it was, because I think in kilometers. My American mind only thinks in kilometers.
It's at least 6.
At least, that's probably true. Prez, what do you think?
I think it's gonna be mixed between miles and kilometers.
What's the difference?
13, give or take.
Well,
13 miles. Okay.
well, so I'm gonna say because 1 mile is 1.6 kilometers. For
knew
the
that,
Great
actually.
Wall.
Yeah.
Are you
Great
talking about
Wall.
the Great Wall of China?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we were
Great Wall of-
originally talking about
We're
the
actually
Great Wall
talking
of
about
Tennessee,
the Great Wall of. Yeah,
but I heard they
what?
dismantled that recently.
they did
Uh,
actually.
I'm gonna
They
say it's as
determined it was a
long as it
racist
currently
holdover
is.
from the Jim Crow era.
It also didn't do a very good well of keeping out illegal immigrants from Georgia.
Speaking of wells, did you hear about the well in Ohio?
Well. No, I haven't.
Now you know. Back to Mr. President's
So
opinion about
cantankerous.
the alien wall of
President.
China.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh my lord.
Lordy, what on earth are
Lordy,
these
lordy.
boys talking about? Don't you gender
What are these Jehovah Witnesses talking about?
Jehovah's Witness.
Well, listen here.
Hello, we'd like to share a
Why'd
message
you
with
just
you.
call me? We'd like to share a message with you about our Lord and Savior, nobody.
Our Lord and Savior, the Mormon Christ.
Mormon Jesus.
The mo-
Listen, if you've ever seen the show The Expanse, you know that the Mormons last a very long time.
If you've ever seen literally any like sci-fi or apocalypse show, the Mormons always show up at
Oh my
some
gosh,
point.
no, listen to this. I was watching Jack Ryan, the Amazon show Jack Ryan, and one of the main characters was like, the Mormon missionaries came and saved me in my rundown hometown in Mexico or Syria or something like that. I'm like, that's hilarious. The Mormons are literally everywhere.
That's funny. No, I just really
Just
love
not in
that,
Missouri.
No, it's
Misery.
like in Battlestar Galactica is part of it was written by a Mormon, but like they base their government off of the Mormon Church.
Oh, that's why it sucked.
Come on.
And then,
board, Adrian. I feel bad. I've been interacting with you guys so much. I forgot that we're live and I have a chat that's saying stuff. Hey guys, how y'all
hi,
doing?
hey chat, what's up, homies? Yo,
What are we even doing right now?
what's
All right,
poppin',
Age of
gamers?
Empires, go.
Age of Empires.
All right, well, listen, guys, I'm gonna cut this one off now because I think we've thoroughly gone off topic.
We've derailed so hard.
Are you saying we're no longer on the topic of conversation?
We're no longer on the topic of conversation, which is, if anybody was wondering, since it's probably hard to find, the Civil War in Russia, which never actually happened. It was not the Bolshevik Revolution.
It was not.
One of you looked like you were going to argue with me for a second. You going to argue with me?
What?
Yeah, it was not the Bolshevik Revolution. It was called the October Revolution.
It
that
was-
led by the Bolshevik Party.
It was the way you flared your nostrils. All right, bro.
It was the way I flared my nostrils.
Watch the way you're flaring. Move it, move it, move it. Nice.
You know, I am incapable of flaring my nostrils.
That's what they want you to believe.
Gosh, I love this show.
All right, guys, we are gonna wrap it up. So, I mean, I'm not gonna wrap it up. We actually still have a little bit of time here. What I want to do, since we're not talking about anything anymore, we're gonna go ahead and call our winner today. And I think we all know who it is. Let me just refresh real quick. Everybody, if you look down
It's-
there.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nebula. Oh,
No. Easy there.
all right.
So our winner, and thank goodness we have two top winners. I'm not going to get yelled at for calling people out again. Just kidding. Just playing. Hawaiian Cobra, you have successfully sweated, fought, and just really drove your way to that top spot with 4,900 of my very special humble opinions. You're welcome.
We're very proud of you.
And so you have, between now and the time that we end this live podcast, to decide
Approximately.
what next week's topic is going to be. All right, so we'll give you some time to think about it, although I have a feeling you already have something in mind. Adrian Tempish, congratulations on winning last week first place and this week second place. You get to determine what my background is going to look like. So all you got to do is, since we're friends on Discord, you can just shoot me over whatever image you want to see on my background next week. So, rules, guys. Dicks indeed. Well done, sir. So rules.
Rule number
Cobra.
1. Dick.
Nothing that's going to get me banned from Twitch. Okay?
Oh,
and
no dicks. Sorry.
Look, if you want dick talk, I mean, this is going to be a big old sausage fest. I think it kind of already is, but, you know, whatever.
I think we might have broken precedent.
He's glitching, man. What's happening? Adrian, same goes for you. Obviously, no pornography or anything like that behind me, although I don't see you as being the kind of person who would do something like that.
Oh.
You have a woman to keep you in line. Nothing but wiener
Hold my tongue on that
schnitzel.
one.
That's right, wiener schnitzel. The history. Oh gosh, here we go. The history of all your relations with the most venomous snake in Hawaii. What?
What?
You know what he's doing, right, guys? You know what he's doing.
He's
Oh.
getting us to
Oh,
talk
yeah,
about
yeah,
him.
yep, him.
This is marketing.
Cobra.
Cobra.
You
Cobra.
want the entire conversation, which I'm going to just remind you is mostly satirical, to be about you.
You know that's like kind of dangerous for you, homie. It's like
It's
this
very
is
dangerous.
So
Well,
I'm going to give you a little bit of time to think about that.
Listen, you know
And
what?
If that's
Actually,
your final answer.
He did not specify. He said the most venomous snake in Hawaii, Hawaiian cobra. He did not specify himself. He did not
Bless
say
you.
anything about. He
Bless
did
you.
not say Hawaiian_cobra on Twitch. I'm going to start looking at snakes.
And next week's co-host is going to be Elon Musk, so I'm looking forward to that. We're going to bring him on. His whole
Really
person,
excited
though.
to have him here.
Yeah. So
He's
he's gonna
Twitter.
bring his youthful bride, the SpaceX, the newest rocket ship, I think they call it, the
Yes.
flying penis.
Yeah. Well, he's going to bring his new bride, the titular Earth.
Hit you.
You're done.
I'm
I
not
thought it was
feeling that one,
ridiculous.
broski. I'm not feeling that one.
No.
Better chance to
Hmm.
see Jesus Christ.
That's right. Our co-host next week will be Jesus Christ. In the flesh, ladies and gentlemen. Believe it or not, but believe it.
And his
All
new
right.
bride, the titular Mormon. Sorry.
Oh, yo, hey,
You're running.
Aeolus, I just want to ask you, did you ever get a chance to go to the bathroom?
No.
Oh, he's pissed himself.
I just now saw your message. I mean, he's sitting. No wonder he's wiggling around so much. He's trying to hold his pee in.
No, I'm good, man. No, I needed to poop like crazy, but I popped an Imodium and I'm good.
Yeah, in case anybody missed the
It's healthy.
conversation before we were streaming, Aeolus let me know that he's got diarrhea. I don't know who drew that for him, because that's
Absolutely
nasty.
had the runs.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, unfortunately.
Incredible artist. You don't want to see it.
Yeah, this is not the direction I want our conversation to go. So, Cobra, I'm gonna just go ahead and ask you, final time, is this your final answer? You want the history of all of my relationships, sexual or otherwise, with the most venomous snake in Hawaii, ... Hawaiian cobra. That's a lot of words that I can do a lot of things with.
He didn't stutter.
I didn't stutter. All right.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh, Satan suck a dick. It's gonna be interesting.
No dicks. We established
I
this.
remember a few months ago. All right, we will talk all about Hawaiian Cobra next week then. In the meantime, we are going to be changing up the format that I've been posting because of my issues with Spotify. We're going to do audio only on Spotify, but we're not posting it tomorrow anymore. It's going to come out in a week, so if you missed it tonight, you do have to wait a whole another week before you can see it again. You can see Aeolus there is shocked by his O face.
Face.
Yeah, that one. I want to try those faces now. I think it's more like this. Cross your eyes and stick out your tongue. Yeah, like that. So it is also so that's audio only going up on Spotify. You'll see that on Monday morning next week, and the full version with video is going to go up on YouTube same time next week. Of course, keep up on those TikToks because you will see plenty of those coming out throughout the week. They're always a lot of fun, and I love to see your guys' interactions with them. As always, this is a viewer interaction show, and you guys did not disappoint me this week. So once again, thank you for all of the interactions, all of the bits, all of the subscriptions. I didn't see who did it, but we did get a subscriber, so
Welcome.
thank you for that. Oh, that was you? Thank you. Thank you. So thank you for everyone who's participated, and we're going to be live again next week, 9 p.m. same time. We've got about 8 viewers here. I think we're going to go ahead and raid somebody. How do y'all feel about that? Does anybody have any recommendations for a raid? Who to raid? Drop fast, eat ass, boys. Let's go. Move it. The beautiful
I
voices
can't
of
hear
Hawaiian
it, so
Cobra.
I just...
And Mr. Golson. It happened. Just trust it. It was beautiful.
I mean, you have Coco, you have... Oh, hey, you've got Biddies.
Biddy's live right now?
Biddies or Coco. I put Coco's username in chat, but
Yeah, they pointed Coco.
You know what? Before I do this, I'm going to do something that I haven't done yet in our large and huge amounts of streams that we've done for a topic of conversation, because there's been so many of them, and I've neglected this particular point. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've never heard of the Creators Lounge, look it up, because the Creators Lounge is a place for creators to get together and do cool shit together.
lounge about.
Like everybody in this current chat, or not chat, but everybody that you see here visually is a part of the Creators Lounge. We would love to have you. There is a link to that downstairs once again. So go ahead and push my buttons. Join the Creators Lounge. We are always happy to have you people. Yes, you people. All of you people. That is going to be it. So let me just take a look, because you guys are right about at least 2 of those people that you've mentioned. But I also want to do my own research, and I don't want too much dead air. So somebody sing a song, quick.
Come on, Raccoon Boy.
Sing a song.
Don't sing that song. Stop it. All right, so we're actually gonna reach outside of the Creators Lounge. Oh, my wife just busted in the room to sing along with you, Aeolus. She came into that. See what you've done? It's the worst night ever. Thank you for the things. It looks like Mr. President streaming is playing the Callista Protocol.
Oh.
We'll get his better socials up in the comments and things in a bit, but yes. I'm not gonna actually go with one of our folks in the Creators Lounge, because we do have a different set of friends that I have never really given a lot of attention to, but today I'm going to. So, Aeolus, these are your friends, so you've got a choice between sending our viewers to AWOL or Luna?
Oh goodness. AWOL's playing Final Fantasy 3. Luna's playing Kingdom Hearts 3.
Luna.
These are Luna.
I think
Luna's.
I've got her. Yeah.
You want to go
Yeah,
with
let's
Luna?
head over to Luna. Yeah.
All right,
Luna's an
guys.
absolute blast. And she's
There-
playing Kingdom Hearts 3. She's going to be an absolute psychopath tonight.
There you have it. We're going to go ahead and raid Luna, playing Kingdom Hearts 3. Let me go ahead and get her queued up. And when everybody's ready, 3 viewers are ready to raid. 5 viewers are ready to raid. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Everybody, when you get over there, give her as much love as possible. And don't forget to drop my name. That's Milkman, BSGE. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm just playing around. That would be terrible. All right, we're gonna pop over there now. Thank you everybody for joining tonight. Thank you Cobra for moderating. Thank you Adrian for the sweet topic that we kind of talked about tonight. Thanks President for your insights. Always nice to have you. And of course my co-host today, Mr. Aeolus 120. You can also catch him on Twitch, streaming as Aeolus 120. So really hard to find. That is it for tonight, guys, and we're gonna go. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.